The Wright Brothers, pioneers of flight. In the late 19th century, the dream of human flight was as old as humanity itself. From ancient myths of Icarus to Leonardo da Vinci's sketches of flying machines, mankind had long imagined soaring through the skies. But it was two humble brothers from Dayton, Ohio, Wilbur and Orville Wright, who turned that dream into reality. Early life and curiosity. Wilbur Wright was born in 1867, and his younger brother Orville in 1871. They were sons of Milton Wright, a United Brethren church bishop, and Susan Catherine Kerner Wright, who had a mechanical mind and often built simple gadgets for the household. From their mother, they inherited curiosity and ingenuity, and from their father, discipline and a love for learning. The brothers had no formal engineering degree, but their minds were sharp and restless. In 1878, their father gave them a small toy helicopter powered by a rubber band. Though simple, this gift lit a spark in their young imaginations. They wondered, if such a little machine could fly, why couldn't a larger one carry a man? From printing press to bicycles. Before they tackled flight, the Wrights honed their craftsmanship in other trades. They ran a printing press as teenagers, building their own press machine from scratch. Later, in the booming 1890s bicycle craze, they opened the Wright Cycle Company. This workshop became their laboratory for precision, balance, and mechanics, the very skills they would need for aviation. Entering the world of flight. By the mid-1890s, aviation pioneers around the world were experimenting with gliders and early engines. Inspired by the German glider pilot Otto Lilienthal, who tragically died in a crash in 1896, the Wright brothers decided to take up the challenge of controlled, powered flight. They began studying every scrap of aviation knowledge they could find. Dissatisfied with the existing data on lift and drag, they built their own wind tunnel in 1901, the first of its kind in America. This invention allowed them to test hundreds of wing shapes scientifically. Through these experiments, they discovered that much of the accepted data was inaccurate, and they developed a more reliable understanding of aerodynamics. The breakthrough: control in flight. The Wrights understood something many pioneers missed. Flight wasn't just about building wings or adding power, it was about control. Birds did not soar by brute force, but by skillful adjustment of their wings. The brothers mimicked this with their concept of wing warping, twisting the wings slightly to control roll. Combined with a movable rudder and elevator, they invented the three-axis control system, the foundation of modern aviation. Kitty Hawk experiments. They needed a place with strong winds, open sand, and isolation to test their gliders. They chose Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, where they began experiments in 1900. For years, they tested and refined gliders, enduring crashes, setbacks, and ridicule from skeptics. By 1902, they had a glider capable of stable, controlled flight. What remained was to add an engine powerful and light enough for takeoff. Since none existed, they built their own lightweight gasoline engine with the help of their mechanic, Charlie Taylor. The first powered flight, 1903. On December 17, 1903, in the cold winds of Kitty Hawk, the Wright brothers unveiled the Wright Flyer. A fragile machine of wood, canvas, and ingenuity, it looked unimpressive to the untrained eye. But history was about to be made. At 10:35 a.m., Orville Wright lay face down on the Flyer's wing surface, grasping the controls. The engine roared to life, the propellers spun, and the machine lurched forward on its wooden rail. Then, against the sand and surf, it lifted, just a few feet off the ground, but undeniably airborne. The flight lasted only 12 seconds and covered 120 feet, yet it changed the world forever. They flew 3 more times that day, with Wilbur making the longest flight, 852 feet, in 59 seconds, struggle for recognition. Though they had achieved the impossible, the world was slow to believe them. Many newspapers ignored the story, dismissing it as exaggeration. For years, the Wrights faced skepticism, while European aviators received more attention. Determined, the brothers continued to improve their machines, making longer, higher, and more controlled flights. By 1908, they demonstrated their flyer publicly in France and Virginia, astonishing crowds and silencing doubters. The brothers became international celebrities, hailed as the inventors of powered flight. Legacy tragically. Wilbur Wright died young in 1912 of typhoid fever at the age of 45. Orville lived until 1948, witnessing airplanes evolve from fragile flyers to powerful machines crossing oceans and even breaking the sound barrier. The Wright brothers' legacy is not merely the first powered flight. It is their methodical approach. Testing, experimenting, questioning, and never giving up. They transformed a childhood toy helicopter into the foundation of modern aviation. Their invention shrank the world, connecting continents, shaping wars, commerce, and culture. Every airplane that flies today carries within it the DNA of Wilbur and Orville's 1903 flyer.